It's a Week 2 showdown in the NFC. San Francisco leads the series 19-14, but Philly's won 7 of the last 9. It's the 49ers and the Eagles, and it's next.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they enter play here. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded inside the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. For the first time, we get our look here at the Eagles offense and Jalen Hurts, the second-year quarterback out of Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards. The numbers for Sanders last week, the hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Throwing is Hurts. Flushed out right. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Niners will go on offense 1st and 10. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by the 2015 NFL Most Valuable Player in his 11th season in the league, 32-year-old Cam Newton.
And he was terrific in the opener, threw 3 touchdown passes, and make no mistake about it, he was eager to get right back out and do it again. So I think we'll see him try to test the secondary quite a bit as this game goes on.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 20 carries, 100 yards on the nose, and a score.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
Alex Singleton, a former Canadian League star, in on the stop. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
Now a give to Mostert running right. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. This is Mostert. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On second down, Mostert. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. They'll try again from the 20 on second and 10. Back to throw. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. From the gun, it's Hurts. Dancing to his left. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. We'll check on his status when we get back. On first down, Sanders takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. This defense for the Niners, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
A first down there on a pickup of 25. They'll look to throw here. That'll be caught. It's Reagor. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
After the sack on first down, Hurts. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Too little.
They're going to look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Nick Bosa drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. be able to knock the ball through the post and take the three.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way.
Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Newton now to throw. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, Newton gets this one to Juszczyk. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And there are really very few fullbacks in the NFL today that get used as weapons in the passing game. But Kyle Juszczyk, definitely one of them. Part of the reason he's been a Pro Bowler 5 years in a row.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. Throwing on 2nd and long. Newton. And the pressure gets to him again. Fletcher Cox able to record his 5th sack of the season. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To throw is Newton. And that is incomplete. You know, I watched film yesterday, and he told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we?
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. DJ Jones coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts airing it out deep for Smith. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? And turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're open to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
2nd down, here's Mostert again. And he's going to take this close to the first down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 41. 44 yards on the ground for him so far.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
That's into the hands of Dwelly. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. That is Tomlinson who is down. Boy, not what they want to see. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Newton to throw. Flush to his right, and he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. Newton. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle. It's tight end, and it's third and short. Now Newton. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he is going to have a 49ers first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down. Back to the running game with Mostert. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it up to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
That's complete to Dwelly, his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. And Gold is able to put it through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Eluding the pressure right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Here's Hurts to throw. He'll get this to Ward. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Hurts fumbles it. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for...
And it's a fumble. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it, They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Devontae Smith, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. And I believe that buzz down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet?
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Hurts. That's Ward, complete right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On first down, Hurts. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Greg Ward, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Elliott good on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-3. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Raheem Mostert and the Niner offense getting the football back. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Newton. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Newton. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Brandon Ayuk, the one he was looking for. And it's 2nd down. To the air again, Newton. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And his guys have got it back in the closing stages of the first half.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an event.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game? Mostert hit and he drops the ball. And the Eagles have recovered. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. 43 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Sanders. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On 2nd and 12, Hurts. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. DJ Jones able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I could dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
We focus our attention now on the Eagles defense. And they forced the fumble last time. Now 4 turnovers for this defense. They've been darn good.
It's become a feeding frenzy, hasn't it? I mean, almost like the Sharks. When they descend upon their prey, that's what they've done this entire game. 4 takeaways, they preach it, and today they're living it.
Well, when you have that many, you probably think, all right, well, we'll just get another one now, right?
That's how it works. Everyone feels like, if I didn't get one, I'm doing something wrong.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. But now it'll be 3rd down. Here's Newton. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And they work this well upfield across the 45. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory.
Eric Wilson, the leading tackler from Minnesota last year, in on the stop.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Once again, it's Mostert. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Now Newton. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he is going to have a Niners first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. On 1st down, Newton winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, his second touchdown on the season. And the 49ers are back within a score.
Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The linebacker Fred Warner right there on the coverage.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Play action. Here's Hurts. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Scott. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11. They'll run. It's Sanders. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Dre Greenlaw in there on the tackle.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A big pickup there for the Eagles 1st down, 18 yards. They go play action with Hurts. He'll find the Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Hurts has it left side. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, you know, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And this is caught in the end zone by Jalen Reagor. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Reagor there to make the grab. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
61 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Newton.
He'll fire this deep for Ayuk.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, 49ers.
For Cam Newton, the arm strength, maybe not what it was circa his MVP season of 2015, but he uncorks a big one there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you can just sense the crowd thinking, oh no! And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air according to Next Gen Stats. Wow.
Gold with the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Nick Bosa picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Caught by the tight end Ertz.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll go down at the 28.
74 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. And a quick throw here, that's complete. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Jake Elliott on for the field goal. A 26-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. So Cam Newton and his offense down 23-17, 2:11 to go. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. And the pressure gets there. He'll go down, and it's a sack. And he's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to roll him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. It's Sanders. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another run with Sanders, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll try to run with Sanders. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll try to run this one in. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that touchdown touchdown should make you feel comfortable, but do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense, but that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Hurts will throw.
And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. He hits the big target for the two-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field.
And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
Here's Newton. Finding Samuel, and he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. Counting down to 30 seconds remaining. And this is going to be incomplete.
That means there's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
They'll try it now with Mostert, and they will get the conversion on fourth down to stay alive, but time not an ally. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. And he'll be taken down as that'll net him only about a gain of 9.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half.